benefits you leave behind once after passing, who and how to qualify. Let's cover it. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Lee with 1E, and welcome to the Warriors Edge channel. Again, the purpose of our channel is to provide guidance, motivation, and education to the benefits that you, a former member of the United States Armed Forces, are entitled to. Now, in today's episode, I want to talk about a topic that we're all going to face one day, and that is, are there going to be benefits we leave our loved ones once we pass? And the answer to that is yes. Now, a big misconception many disabled vets have is that their benefit stops when their life does as well, and that's not entirely true. That being said, today we'll be discussing what the VA calls the Dependency, Indemnity, and Compensation Benefit, also known as the DIC benefit from the VA. Now, see, as a family man, one of the most reassuring feeling of contentment is knowing that when we move on, our loved ones are still taken care of. Some of the ways we do this is by lining up benefits in the event this happens, such as life insurance, Social Security, and other investments in assets, right? Now, this benefit in particular acts like a pension benefit transfer to your loved ones if you qualify, okay? Now, much like your monthly compensation rate, the VA DIC benefit provides a tax-free monthly compensation rate to your spouse, children, and parents if applicable, right? Now, the key being applicable. Now, this benefit only qualifies veterans whom at the time of their death is found by the VA as having disabilities that are totally disabling. And what that means is that a veteran's injuries made it impossible for them to work, right? And that their rating must fall under one of the following three types of total disability groups, right? The first one being scheduler, the second one being PNT or permanent total, or the third one being TDIU or unemployability. So additional requirements is that they must have at least been designated totally disabled for 10 years prior to their death. Okay, so 10 years prior to death, they must have been already awarded, total disability 100%, right? The second one being at least 5 years immediately before their death if they were already rated totally disabled upon release or discharge from the military. Okay, and then of course, if they were a prisoner of war, they must have been awarded total disability for 1 year prior to their death, and that their death must have occurred after September 30, 1999. Okay, and then the final category is while in treatment with the VA, and the VA caused or played a significant factor in the veteran's death. So essentially, malpractice. So if a veteran dies from some sort of treatment or mishap while getting treated, the survivor can apply for and actually be awarded the DIC program based on that reason. Okay. Now, of course, there are cases where loved ones were awarded DIC claims outside of these parameters. Examples of such are veterans passing without being totally disabled at the time of passing, or sometimes in some cases, I guess some veterans their survivors might have been awarded the DIC benefit even if at the time of their death the veteran wasn't even rated at all or service connected at all, right? Again, in these type of circumstances, I highly suggest you seek professional representation, because at this point it gets a little tricky and they definitely know what to do. All right, so let's talk about the actual entitlements. Okay, so at the very, very basic, your survivor can actually receive $1,357.56. Okay, again, that amount, like your VA monthly compensation, could actually increase depending on if they fall under certain categories. Okay, and there's 5 categories. The first one being the 8-year provision. Now I'm going to explain what all these means after I list them. Okay, so there's the 8-year provision. There's the transitional benefit category. There's, of course, children under 18 or up to 23 while in school. The fourth one being aid in attendance or ANA, and the fifth one being housebound. Okay, so let's go with the 8-year provision. And so what that basically means is that the veteran was rated totally disabled 8 years prior to their death. Okay, so they must meet that requirement, and that also the spouse must be married to the veteran those same 8 years and be in cohabitance with that particular veteran before their passing, okay? And that benefit actually fetches $288.27. Another category which can add to their benefits is aid in attendance, right? So if they have a disability and they require help with regular daily activities such as eating, bathing, and dressing, that can qualify under aid in attendance, and they can receive another $336.32 on top of their other qualifying categories that they meet. Another one is housebound. So if your survivor actually has a disability where they can't leave the house, they can receive another $157.55. Of course, there's the transitional benefit, which every spouse gets, or every survivor gets once they get approved their DIC, which is a transitional period of 2 years after the veteran's death, that they can receive an extra $289 on top of their base benefits and others along with that. Okay, and of course, for the children. Now, so if you have multiple children or one, each one actually qualifies for $336.32. Again, the age requirement has to be met. But altogether, these amounts can add up to a significant amount, which almost adds up to an equivalent of 100% rating for a veteran who's single and in receipt of about $3,100 as of 2021, right? So this total, along with everything that we just mentioned, becomes $2,943.79. So again, it's a significant amount that the survivor can receive from the DIC benefit. Okay. And again, of course, that amount reduces as the children gets older, and of course after the 2-year transitional period. Okay, so now let's get into how to apply. And so the forms that you need to apply are the following. Okay, the first one being, if you're a spouse or a child of a veteran passing while on active duty, you're going to need to file VA Form 21P-534A. Okay, and again, that's for spouse and children of veterans who are in active duty who passes away. Okay, so now if you're a surviving spouse or child of a totally disabled veteran, you have to file VA Form 21P-534 Okay, and the third one for qualifying surviving parents, they would have to use VA Form 21P-535. And so with these forms, there's essentially 4 means of applying. Okay, you can, the first one being doing it yourself. So if you do it yourself, you basically fill out the form and then mail it to your state pension management center. Okay, so if you do it yourself and fill out the forms and know what to do on how, or you have it covered on what needs to be required for your forms, and you want to do it yourself, send it to your state pension management center. Okay. Second way of doing it, of course, is filing through an attorney that specializes in VA law. Okay, and in VA claims. Okay. The third one being, you can work with an accredited representative. Highly suggest accredited representatives. Okay, if you're not going to go with actual professional representation. Okay, and well, I mean they're professionals too, but in terms of legal, what I meant was legal representation. Okay, so you guys out there, I didn't mean that. So the other one, and then the final way is, of course, if you do it yourself again, and you basically go to the regional office and then ask somebody over there to kind of give you assistance on what you need to actually have to have a complete a file for your claim. Okay, so again, in your case, so if your case isn't cut and dry, I highly suggest getting representation. These professionals can help navigate you through the maze of laws, as well as help you strategize and come up with an action plan needed to make your case a viable one, depending on the circumstances and situation you're in. Okay, one of the good things about this particular benefit is that there is no deadline for application, but it would be most beneficial if you filed immediately after the veteran's death, because once you're awarded the benefit, you would be payable from 1 month after the date of the veteran's death. But if you don't, and you file subsequently after a year from the veteran dying, you can your payback date or your back date only goes to the time that you actually applied for the DIC benefit. All right. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys found this episode helpful. Or if you know somebody that could, please share a link below. Again, please support our channel by subscribing and hitting that like button, as well as that bell notification button for future episodes. So again, guys, it's your boy Lee. I want you guys to be kind to yourselves, take action, create, and inspire others. Until next time, I'll see you then.